Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist, and welcome. This is my Flosstube, and I think it's number 56. I didn't double check before I started. I'm sorry, and it is November 1st. It's already November, and I don't know, this year has flown by. I am going to talk some about quilting, and I have only one my mind just went blank. Only one only one piece of haul, and I have my cross stitch from this last week. I probably should have picked up all the cross stitch that I did in October, but I didn't. But before I get into all of the stitching that I did and all that other stuff, I do want to say that I am not looking forward to the holidays. These next 2 months are going to be challenging for our whole family, and those of you who are new wouldn't know. My mother passed away on December 19th last year from COVID. We all had COVID, and she didn't make it. And so the first everything's, without a loved one are always difficult. So we're walking that path together, and I know that we will be seeing her again. But so if I plan to still make my videos every single week, but if one's late or something, I just wanted to give you all a heads up that these next 2 weeks are going to be kind of hard for me. Anyway, I am happy for all the stitching that I did in October. I worked some on my Showstopper Sal. That's the one with the bugs, and I have bugs, and then I have dragonflies, which I know are also bugs, and then leaves, and then the final one is the birds, and I think they'll look beautiful all framed together on the wall. It may take me years to complete them all because I just am trying to do a motif at a time. That didn't work out for the last motif. It's taking me a while. My eyes weren't cooperating. I'm stitching it on even weave, which means I have to, it's a different type of counting. It's not harder. It's not easier. It's just different. And y'all know the challenges I've been having with counting. And I saw my eye doctor today, not too long ago, and he said that I am not taking my eye drops as directed, and he said, we call that being naughty. So the one for my allergies, he says I really need to take it more often, so I'm going to try to be more compliant and do that. I see a shadow on my glasses, and I apologize for that. The lighting is strange in here today, so I don't know of any way to get rid of it other than taking off my glasses, and that would mean not being able to see. So I apologize. Because of Witchy Stitchy, I have a finish. I don't know that I would have finished it had it not been for needing to stitch 30 minutes a day every day. Well, we could have had 4 skip days, but even when I went to the balloon fiesta, I said, no, I'm not going to skip. I'm exhausted and I'm stitching while I'm asleep, but I'm not going to skip. And I was going to work on all Halloween and fall projects, but halfway through the month I didn't want to. And as you know, I started Holly Jolly Christmas. So that is my finish. And this is, trying to pick it up, Holly Jolly Christmas by Erica Michaels. And I saw the berries on Helen D's Flosstube, and I just loved them. And I said, I want to do a berry, and here we go. Now, I wasn't planning to finish them exactly like the picture. See the little peppermint buttons, and on the back, on the top of the button, there's a little candy cane. Yeah, I wasn't planning to do that, but the more I looked at it, I said, that's really cute. And I ordered all the finishing stuff. I even ordered the leaf for the box one. So, yeah. And of course, I couldn't go to that website with all those cute embellishment things and not see something else I needed. So I bought one other thing. I almost bought more than that. So here's my finish. Now, I noticed a counting mistake when I was putting in this stitching right here, this back stitching. It is one row too low, and that means that these two they're not lining up on the bottom. And I looked at it and said, you know what, I like it, and it doesn't bother me, and nobody, it's going to be in a little decoration in my house, and I think it's beautiful, and I'm just going to leave it. I love the way this came out, and I do want to do the other berry, which is lots of jolly. And I do want to do the square. But I have some projects in mind for Christmas presents that aren't necessarily stitching. And I need to, I have a set amount of time to do that in, so we'll see. And then I'm going to talk about my quilting, which hasn't even been quilted. It's just stitching, but it's going to be quilted soon, eventually. So, as you all know, I had started this project with not the store-bought template. I made my own template, and this part of the pattern I did see on Missouri Star Quilt Company on a triple play, but I'm going to put on top and bottom and around the sides somehow. I'm still going, how do I want to finish that? So I haven't done it yet. I love this, putting this orange trim around it. And I did buy some fat quarters of the same line so that I could put on the back. And so I'm going to be finishing that. Again, this is a project that I want to do just because, but I was taking time to work on it. And then I got distracted by Halloween/Thanksgiving. So I started this table runner. Now, I'm only going to show you 2 of these pumpkins because it's got 5 of these pumpkins. They're not standing up here very well, but this Thanksgiving pattern and this just orange and yellow pattern alternated. So there's 2 of these and 3 of these on the table runner. And I'm going to back it with this. And I could have had this finished by now, but we were working on the 411 project, the pillowcases for the charity for my mom's memory for the Portales Children's Home. So this is going to be on the back. So if you flip it over, one side is Halloween and the other side is Thanksgiving. And oh, I unfolded it. Like I said, it's pretty long, so my table is not as long as this table runner. Now, and I know that table runners can run off the end of the table. But I don't ever host Thanksgiving. My sister does. So when I finish it, I'm going to give it to my youngest sister so that she can put it on her table. And here's the stems. Now this is the pattern. Let me back it up so you can see it. This is the pattern for the witch side. And this is for the Thanksgiving side. Because you know, Thanksgiving is right by Christmas. So, and I saw this on Jordan Fabrics. It's a free download from Jordan Fabrics. And on hers, she just says to top stitch around the edge. I'm thinking that maybe I want to do lines on here. Because, you know, the stems are maybe even kind of like twisty lines. I don't know. The stems aren't plain. But I may just go ahead and just, you know, do it like the pattern. And so I have the thread all loaded and ready to go to finish this, and I went to start sewing it last night, and I didn't. And so that's the little bit of quilting stuff I have. And now the cross stitch. So back in May for Mania, I was trying to finish some whips, and then when and then on the weekend or something, I don't remember how I decided to do it, or maybe I started something and I don't know. But I haven't touched this since then. Now I finished one of these, and then I started this one, and I have had so many problems with this one. Now this is by CrossStitchingForFun. It's a free download if you're a member of their Facebook group. These are the this is Mary Slytherin, this one, and I already finished Mary Gryffindor. And I have the threads and everything, the cloth, to do the other 2. This has been giving me so much trouble. Part of the problem is, and let me see if I can bring this closer so you can see. And you can't see it on this picture. On this picture, which I think is probably printed out from not a picture of a cross stitch, but from the computer generated file. I had more of it done. I've been frogging it. So it has this silver krynic in it here, which is difficult to work with, and it says on the cross stitch parts, there's some places where it's used as back stitching. And yes, I know you can see where I went across. This Kreinik, it tells you to use it two strands of this stuff, and it is so thick it makes like a little rock on here, but you know, that's what the pattern said. And so then this is a mess because I'm frogging. I wanted to stitch all the green in here before I started trying to put the Kreinik in there, and I have to do both of those. Boy, that's just bothered me, even though I know it's from frogging it. I have to do both of those before I can do the backstitch lettering. So it's part backstitching and part stitching. And so it's not like this is solid green on the M. It's like it looks in this picture. On the pattern, it's green and then silver and then green and then silver. And it's like that with the other letters. And on the other letters, they're thicker. It's not just like this where it's or it just looks like the cursive writing. It's thicker. Anyway, because I took the green first, and I'm like doing one stitch here, count over here, and do one stitch, and then count over here and do one stitch. That's why I traveled the green behind. And I don't like the way it looks with the green behind it. So I may have to fix that. I don't know. But because of that, I miscounted on where the green ones went. And I remember in May, I frogged it out and then miscounted differently. And I said, okay, I'm done with this. And then when I picked it up earlier this month, I said, I think I remember that this was wrong. And this was before I had the Kreinik all the way in there. And I counted and I said, no, it looks right. And I got all the way to starting the back stitching. And when I got to this is the word Slytherin down here. So, you know, it's the S is over here, and then LY, and this is part of the Y right here. Okay. And then the T, and then the letters are too close together. And I couldn't just adjust this part because of where it would hit for everything else, the little wand, and showing it the wrong way, the little wand and all that. It just, and I know it doesn't look centered, but I could have sworn I centered it. So I don't know what's going on. This has been a trial. So I'm going to be taking out all or most of this to get it right. I think it wouldn't be centered here. Anyway, I would like to finish these. I like them. They're very cute. I, in general, like CrossStitchingForFun's patterns. They do have a lot of one stitch here, one stitch there, one stitch here. And that's fine. You know, you just have to be aware that if you're going to get one of their patterns, that's the way it is. I might frog out all of the Kreinik and do it, even though it says use 2 strands, I might just do one. It would lay flatter and I would like it better because it's so much fatter than the DMC, which can be, you know, I don't know. I'll think about it. And then I worked some more on, this is the Twin Peak Primitives. You know, I always forget to tell you the fabrics that I'm using. That's the Holly Jolly Christmas. That's 32 count. Sorry. This is 32 count vintage by Artiste from Hobby Lobby. And the this is 14 count, and it's not the iridescent, it's the other one they have that's got silver in it. And the silver strands in it do catch on things, and you can't find the hole, and it separates. It's problematic, but it's pretty. And so so I don't, you know, I'll just deal with it. That has nothing to do with the challenges that I've been experiencing. Now, back to this. Twin Peak Primitives, Black Halloween series, and again, I'm working on this one. And I got some more of this tree and some more of her hat. I only worked on it once this week. And I probably will not work on this again until next year. And I'm really thinking about how I want to do my projects for next year to try to get, because I have some projects that are not close to being done, but not, you know, they're more done than not. And, you know, I would like to get some work done on those. And you know, I have some of my own designs that I haven't been working on. So I have to really balance what I'm doing and try to get some of those projects finished. Because I started them for a reason, you know. I liked them. I wanted them. Why are they sitting in a bag, you know, languishing and not getting done? I didn't put them away because I didn't like them, except for, you know, putting that away because it's in timeout. I didn't put them away because I didn't like them. And you know, cross stitch camp, I loved doing cross stitch camp, where I got a project done every month. But that meant I put aside a lot of things, and I do like working on several things, sometimes more than one thing a day. And while it doesn't seem like anything would get done that way, you know, that's just kind of, that's why I have these 2 table runners and 3 quilts in the, well, I guess technically 4 quilts that I'm working on. No, I just bought stuff for another one. So 5. But that's who I am, you know, and and so and then that knitting project that I started, it's a beautiful pattern, and my sister's is far more done than mine, and I'm like, I want one. I want to finish it. So I'm spreading myself a little thin that way. So I have to figure out how I can organize myself a little bit better, where I can get some of those projects that are sitting there that I really want to finish, like the turtle and the whale. Those are really close to being done. If I concentrated on them, I could get them done pretty quickly. And so I'm thinking that if I join any other challenges, like there's probably going to be another I Love to Stitch challenge in February. Hope there is. I enjoyed it. But I'm going to use it to only challenges where I don't start something else new. Now, that's not to say that I won't start other new things. I started the Holly Jolly Christmas after all. But I want to spend some time concentrating on the things that I have. And for Cross Stitch Camp, I wanted to just pick a new project and go with it. The Whale in a Light Bulb, I had purchased that and had all the stuff for it already. And I was happy to get it done. So that doesn't, if it's something I already have and I want to work on it, but I'm hoping that, I can pick something that's already started and work on it and get it done. So I have to think about that. Speaking of projects that have been languishing, last year I purchased this Star Wars Stormtrooper. I worked on it some, and I worked on it some in the spring, like for Mania, before Mania, I don't know. I worked on it some last spring, and hadn't gotten very far. And if I can find a before picture, I might put it up here because it's been forever. I might do that with the Slytherin Mary Slytherin, so you can see how far I got before I realized that it was wrong. But I did work some more on this. I finished off another thread down here, and I finished this part of his sunglass, the eye thing. And then I started with white. Now it's white on white, but it's going to have color around it, so we worked on this here. I didn't get very far in the white, but because I only worked on it one day while I was waiting somewhere. So I haven't been going that many places where I have to wait, so the projects that I have in my project bag for small projects that I take with me are not getting a lot of love. And I had meant to make this for my son for Christmas last year. Was it last year? But I didn't buy it like late in the year. I bought it, earlier in the year, like in the summer. And yeah, I haven't got anywhere on it. So I'm not going to get it done for this Christmas, but what I'm talking about, I have this project. I have a reason to want to have it done. I have a different Christmas. I'm making him a quilt, so I'm not worried about not finishing it this year. But he would love it. He's 23 and he would love it. So I need to make sure that I give some projects that have that are languishing some love. And off and on, I have worked on more on this. It's too much glare. Oh, what is the deal with the glare today? This is late in the day, and so the lights that I turned on so you could see are bad, causing all kinds of glare. And y'all have seen it. Everybody's working on it. Most people have finished it. Not I. I do not work on this every day. I love it, and you guys know that I had to frog the whole house basically. And then I had done this white, the reins. This is another reindeer, but I had gone up here and then I thought I was over here. So it was way up here, and I just continued down like it was this. And then I went, wait a minute, Santa Claus shouldn't be there. There's another house over here. And so I had to get that done. But it's coming along. Before, I have a whole bunch of white still on the thread that I have. But I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and fill in this tree and get that reindeer more done and finish this reindeer because they look, I don't know. I like finishing like I did this house and just finishing the house, you know, finishing this tree. So I think that's why I went ahead and put in the brown and the red on this guy. I want to finish him and put in his antlers and his bell and all of that. This cloth has, because I hold it in my hands, it's gotten so wobbly. So I was thinking last night, I think I need to put this in a hoop. But I like stitching without a hoop, so we'll see. Yeah. So that's how far I've gotten on that. And then, because I didn't have enough projects that are partially done, I showed you this pattern last week. It's called Patriotic Mini Bouquet, and it's by Jeannette Douglas Designs. It was a free pattern from the attic. It was made for the attic, and I bought these little pins, and I started it on 32 count, the same fabric that I used for my, careful doggy. My dog is here. She just didn't feel like being on camera today because she got in trouble last week for barking. You saw the trouble she got in. She didn't get in a lot of trouble. She barks all the time. So she just didn't feel like being on camera. Sorry, I just realized my needle was floating around. This is the 32 count pink splash. I used perfect pie crust instead of white. That's not, it's just the thread from the sleeves. And it called for two different, oops, don't mean to show you the pattern. Two different reds for the flowers. And I have a lot of reds. These are a combination of Weeks Dye Works that is called for is a combination of Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colorworks and Gentle Arts. And it called for two reds for the flowers, but I had this, and that's two reds, right? I bought this not for a project, just because it was beautiful. And so I decided to use this for the flowers, and I love the way it came out. So there's two more flowers. And I was going back and forth about the, oh, by the way, that's Blackberry Weeks Dye Works. I was going back and forth about the green, and I almost used this Mountain Mist, but I chose Forest Glade instead. And both of these are by Gentle Art threads. And I like the way that's looking against the pink splash. It looks beautiful. And instead of the brown called for the basket, I'm going to use this Classic Colorwork wagon wheel, which I think will look beautiful. And it calls for Blackbird. I'm going to use this cast iron skillet because I don't have Blackbird, and it's just, you know, black. So I have a whole bunch of blacks, and I was like, I'm not buying another black. And then instead of navy, the Weeks Dye Works Navy. I'm going to use this uniform blue. And I think the color combination looks similar to what's there. I might put the year 2021. It's charted at 2020 because it was made, in 2020. I might put the year, but I'm definitely not going to put July 4th. And I have some plans for this, and so I'm wanting to get this done as a Christmas present for someone. So that's why I went ahead and started it. Now, if I obey my eye doctor, perhaps I'll be able to see the holes well enough to continue working on it. It's much easier with these darker colors than when I was working on the mouse with the white and the pink and those colors that were almost the same color as the background. So I'm kind of happy with the way these colors look. I'm hoping they'll be happy with the finished product. And that's all of my stitching. Now I have one piece of haul. Now I did buy a lot of things when I went to Walmart, and they weren't really stitching related. But my sister needed to go in. At the Walmart that I was at, there's a Hobby Lobby right next door. Not next door, but very close to next door. And that's not the Hobby Lobby we normally go to, but we go to it often enough because it is right by Walmart, the closest Walmart to us. And my sister needed to go in there and pick up something, and I said, if they have that wooden piece that is called for the chart by Stitching with the Housewives, and I can't remember the chart, I just know it says Christmas along the top. This is the wooden piece. I don't want to buy the pattern yet because, as I said, I have quite a few projects already, and I know that with And to All a Good Night and Silent Night and the Holly Jolly Christmas, I have more than enough Christmas projects in the works right now. But I do want it. And I thought, if I buy it later, am I going to be able to find this? And I liked the way it looked with this. So I went ahead and got it. Now, I may decide later on that I don't want to buy it for whatever reason. It was on sale. It was $10, So it's not like, and I could always use it for something else. It's nice. So here it is. Now I probably won't finish it exactly like she has, with the plaids and all that. That's just not me. But I do love the way it looked with the Mary and the Christmas of her pattern is beautiful. I love a lot of the Christmas patterns and Thanksgiving patterns that she's come out with recently. Now, I like a lot of her other patterns. I was working on the 4th of July patterns and all that. I like a lot of her patterns, but I really like some of the stuff that she's come out with recently for the holidays, and but they are bigger, so I need to pace myself on that. So that's all my haul, and I ordered I had some quilting fabric, and I didn't have an idea for a design or anything like that, and then I saw a design and I was like, I like that, but I need to make sure I can get the fabrics that go with it, even if I don't plan to make it this year, and I don't. So I went ahead and ordered that last night. And then I ordered just another button company thing. So I will have haul coming in eventually. Now for November, I plan to keep working on And to All Good Night. And I will keep working on this Patriotic mini bouquet. And I have a lot of quilts to do. But I don't plan to give away any cross stitch, I don't think. And so the other cross stitch patterns that I'd like to work on are perhaps the Stormtroopers for my son, because of course he wouldn't mind getting more than one thing. But also those patterns that I was talking about that need that don't have that much left to do, that I would like to go ahead and get them done. I have a partially done thing that wasn't for Christmas or anything, but for my sister with her cats, the single color cat pattern. I don't want to overload myself too much, so I may concentrate more on just one or two patterns. And then of course I have my my showstopper Sal. Did I say super showstopper? That's my sister's. Showstopper Sal, the CrossStitchingForFun Art Deco spring that I am still working on. And those are my plans for November. I think I'm going to try to just step back and not try to do so many different cross stitch patterns, and just do one or two, and still keep with doing half an hour a day, because I am going to need to spend more time sewing. Now, I did show you a whole bunch of Christmas fabric that I plan to make project bags out of, and I do have some Christmas scissor fobs that I have yet to make. The ones I showed before, I haven't got them on the Etsy site yet because, I don't know, last week was just crazy. And we were working so much on the pillowcases. And, they're very easy to do. And if you're doing just one or two, not so time consuming. But when you're doing 70, and we want to make sure that they're cut right and that they're, matched well and stuff like that. So it is taking us some time because we do want to do our best work. And so that we're going to have to spend a lot of time doing as well. So anyway, I've been chatting at you for much longer than normal. And I hope you guys have had a good Halloween. I hope you had a great weekend. And see you next time. Thanks.